Okay, just gonna take a quick second to check if you can hear me and see me and my sister. I'm just waiting for a few people to log in and let us know if audio and video are fine, and then we can start. Hi, good evening. Hi, Likita. Hi, Preeti. Hi, Kiran. Hi, Malay. Uh, Malay, sound okay? Okay, I think I should start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's live. We're doing a live after a long time. After 3 months, I think. This is my sister, Ritika. She's
Hi.
my older sister. A lot of people think she's my younger sister, but she's my older sister. She's elder to me by what, like 1 year, 8 months, almost 2 years. Yeah. So Ritika and I have been on a plant-based diet for over a decade. Ritika is the one that inspired me also to go on a plant-based diet. And some background sound. Yeah, so I'm sorry about this background sound. So there's a park outside my house, and there's a kid sitting in that. There's a swing. There's a kid sitting there, and he's been swinging for the past half an hour. I thought, okay, maybe he'll stop, but he hasn't stopped yet. So you're just going to have to deal with it. He'll go home in a bit. So I was saying that Ritika and I have been on a plant-based diet for over a decade, and she's the one that inspired me to go plant-based and also educated me also a lot about it. So I thought it would be good for her to come on board because she also does a lot of research about it. She has done a course, a nutrition course, on veganism and a plant-based diet. So it'll be nice for her to talk about it. For you to ask any questions, you can ask anything related to food and nutrition, to recipes. We have been really trying to create videos about vegan food also. It just hasn't taken off, but it's next on our to-do list to start making healthy food recipes because along with fitness and working out, another very, very important thing is the food that goes into your plate. So I'm going to start off with asking Ritika a few questions, and then I'll open it to all of you who are watching, and then you can let us know what questions you have. So, hi, Ritika.
Hi. What's up?
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before, just about your vegan journey? What were you eating before you turned vegan? And then why did you just stop? I know. So why did you just stop eating everything and be like, okay, I'm gonna stop eating meat? Go for it.
Cool. So both of us come from vegetarian families, as you may know, Rashmi. And so we grew up in a pretty much vegetarian household. We used to experiment with meat once in a while, but that was quite limited. And then when I went to college, I started eating and experimenting more with food, especially with animal-based foods. And I don't know what happened in 2008. After a Vipassana 10-day meditation, I decided I couldn't be eating animals anymore because I grew up with animals. We grew up with dogs and cats at home. So it just kind of struck me that why am I loving one species but eating another? So I gave up eating meat, but I'm still eating dairy. Then in 2009, I attended a workshop by Dr. Nandita Shah. She runs an organization called Sharan. And there, it was very simply put that we don't need dairy in our diets because we are not cows. The cow makes milk for its calf, and since we are the only species on the planet who are actually drinking milk from another species, it's actually the root cause of a lot of our diseases. And that kind of convinced me to go vegan in 2009. So it's been over 12 and a half years since I've been vegan. Um, yeah, that's been my vegan journey so far. I've had two vegan pregnancies. I have two kids who I'm raising vegan. We eat as close to whole food plant based as much as possible at home. My kitchen is fully vegan. Yeah, and many people in our family also have turned vegan. So it's been a good journey.
Said my kids are vegan, my kitchen is vegan, my husband is still not vegan.
Not
Ritika.
yet. Not not looking to convert anybody. Not even trying.
So, okay, so you were eating meat also before you turned vegan. It's not like you were vegetarian. You were eating meat. I know that Ritika has also tried out a lot more meat than I have. I may have tasted a little bit of chicken or something, but Ritika has gone all out and tasted everything, but now for the past so many years not eaten anything. So one is that being pregnant and also being vegan, you must have dealt with a lot of oh, how will you put on weight? How will your child get the nutrition? If you don't drink milk, then cow's milk, if you don't drink, how will your child grow? Did you face any of these questions?
Yeah, yeah, lots of them. Almost everybody I met when I was pregnant would ask me. So, but in our tradition, the pregnant women have to eat 1 kilo of ghee every month. That's literally the calculation. They have to finish that 1 kilo of ghee in a month. So, yeah, they all asked me, how's your child going to get nutrition? How are you going to make milk for your baby if you don't have milk, cow's milk? That doesn't make any sense to me logically because we don't need milk from another species to make milk for our own babies. So yeah, there were a lot of questions, a lot of concerns that I wouldn't have a natural birth. I wouldn't be able to, sustain a pregnancy without dairy in my diet. But none of this is true. A lot of women now are, going through vegan pregnancy. Some of them may be even allergic to dairy, and they're not doing it out of, a need, but they really have to do it. So. Yeah, it's pretty much it's very common now to find pregnant vegan women and vegan families. It wasn't 6 years ago, but I did get a lot of questions and concerns.
Okay, so if we talk about the health and fitness aspect of it, I think I can give my experience of being a workout junkie and also being vegan. And you can probably talk about the nutritional aspect of it and how it helps. Because a lot of people ask me questions like, oh, if you're vegan, how do you get protein? How do you have energy to do anything? Because you all the time feel hungry. What do you eat? I mean, people don't realize that we have a lot of food options that we can eat. So one experience for me of being vegan is that I felt like I had more energy than other people who were eating processed food or meat because if I would go to the gym and the whatever these people they would say, oh aaj ye chicken whatever khana hai, this I have to eat this protein whatever, and I would eat rather simple, mostly raw food. So one thing I realized was I had a lot more energy. So can you talk a little bit more about the nutritional aspect of a person who works out and being vegan and how does it affect them or how does it help them?
Generally speaking, the food that we eat, it takes time to digest in our bodies. And when we are eating lighter foods, which is the fruits and vegetables and the whole grains, those take much lesser time compared to dairy and meat and eggs. So it makes biological sense that when you cut out these things from your diet, your body will have more energy to give you because it's not spending that energy on digesting these foods. That's one of the main reasons why you feel more energetic, you feel lighter, after eating plant-based. So for somebody who works out, if they're concerned about proteins, the first thing I would ask them to do is look at the strongest animals on the planet, the elephants, the horses. They are all vegan. They don't eat, they don't drink milk of another species. They just eat plants. They roam around in the sun. They eat grass. They eat leaves. So they get all their protein from green leafy vegetables and whatever fruits and berries or whatever else they eat. And we are also herbivores like these big animals. So for us, we don't necessarily need to meet our protein requirements from animal sources. It's very easily met from plant sources. Now, for someone who wants to build muscle, they might need extra like protein, powders to aid them in that muscle development. But there are still a lot of athletes, vegan, plant-powered athletes, who are doing it even without these supplements. Might take a bit longer, but this it's still possible. So yeah, it's very very possible. You know it yourself, and you see it yourself in your own fitness journey. Building muscle and working out becomes easier, becomes it becomes more more natural and when you're eating more foods that are closer to nature.
Okay. So there were a few questions that some people on Instagram had posted yesterday. I'm going to start with reading their questions out and then we'll open it out to everyone on YouTube. There are already some
Sure.
people who have put in some questions.
Sounds
One is, does being vegan annoy you or your family, as order in or dine out on such lazy days is difficult? Actually, we just ordered in yesterday and we were all together. So is it annoying? You go for it.
10 years ago, it was very annoying. Now, in 2021, not at all. Every restaurant, if you call them and say you don't want dairy, they'll be like, oh, vegan chahiye aapko. So it's become that easy. There are, Bombay itself has about 6 or 7 fully vegan restaurants, more than 15 vegan delivery kitchens. And even if you don't want to order from them, all the other restaurants are very very open to making your food vegan for you. They'll be very they are very up to their keeping themselves in the loop with veganism because it's growing, it's a trend, and they have to go with the flow because that's where the money is right now. So it's not annoying at all to order in from anywhere. And if you see the Indian food that we have, the South Indian food, if you go out to a South Indian restaurant, so much of it is already vegan, the dosas, idlis, and everything. So it's not difficult eating out also. You can find vegan food in the cheapest restaurants, your vada pav, pani puri, sev puri, if you want to go junk, or if you want to go to a fine dine, they'll be very happy to make anything vegan for you. It's not annoying for anybody anymore.
So it's also one more thing that we see a lot is people go vegan, but they think that if I eat anything, it can be vegan. I can eat banana chips, it's vegan, so I can eat it. I can eat potato chips, it's vegan. So there is a thing which is healthy vegan and unhealthy vegan as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can. The vegans don't really like this because veganism is a social justice movement. So it's not only about your diet; it's a lifestyle, right? But as if you are really concerned about yourself, you should not be eating the junk food because in India there's no dearth of fried food that's vegan. Like everything that's fried, almost everything that comes in a packet is more or less vegan, unless they put some animal products in it, like eggs or chicken bits or something. But yeah, there's definitely a difference. You can be an unhealthy vegan and eat all the fried and junk food still. But that's not going to be good in the long run because, first of all, it's not good for you. You're going to end up with a few deficiencies which you don't want. And then eventually, what happens is the diet gets blamed because they're like, see, you're vegan. That's why you have this. That's why this has happened to you. So,
Hmm.
but this, I must say that every vegan goes through this in their vegan journey. The first year, everybody's just, wanting to try out all the alternatives, vegan mock meat and vegan butter and vegan cheese. They're all processed food. So, it's okay to try it once in a while, but it's not okay to have it every day in your diet. That's definitely true.
Hmm. That was another question actually that somebody had. They said that so there is so much vegan alternative like vegan mock meat. Prashant, this is your question about vegan cheese, vegan butter, all this processed food available. Is it a good idea to have stuff like this? Because I think companies market it as this is your meat alternative. So they try to put it in that you're getting your protein from here or whatever. But we need to realize that it's not a good alternative, right? Because it's highly processed.
Yeah, so it's okay for somebody who's transitioning and they think they might miss their butter or cheese. So once in a while, if they want to indulge, just as you would indulge in like an ice cream or a chocolate once in a while, these are okay to indulge in, and it's good. I think that is good to have around, especially if you have kids, because then your kids don't feel left out, and when you call your kids friends over or something like that, you can show them that there are alternatives. So once in a while is definitely okay, but I don't recommend these things on a on a daily basis at all because it's all processed. Like a lot of the vegan butters and or cheeses are made with oils, and the oils are just going to go and increase the amount of cholesterol in your body, and that's not something you want. So
Okay.
yeah, Better to eat as close to a whole food plant-based diet as much as possible.
Okay. So how do you get enough vitamin B12, vitamin D, protein, and somebody written creatine?
Creatinine.
Is it creatinine?
Creatinine.
In a vegan diet?
Okay, so vitamin B12 is actually made in our bodies. It's found on the outsides of fruits and vegetables, and it's found in dirt. It's made by bacteria. What's happening is that we live in a very highly sanitized world, even more so now with all the amount of sanitizers we're using. So what happens then is that we're also killing the good bacteria along with it.
Hmm.
So vitamin B12, it's not necessary that only vegans need supplements. I know tons of people who are not on plant-based diets who need supplements for B12. So in the kind of cities that we live in, it's hard to eat organic food. It's hard to find food that might naturally have B12 on it from nature. So it's always better to get your B12 checked and then take a supplement if required. But yeah, I don't think it's restricted to just be a vegan diet. Everybody should be doing this check. With vitamin D, the same problem. We don't get enough sunlight. We're sitting in our homes in front of our laptops and screens all day. We need to be out in the sun. And the kind of sun that we get in Bombay is not good enough because it's coming through layers and layers of pollution. So we need some good sunlight, which we need to go to maybe a beach or a hill station. Again, not possible. So it's better to go out and get as much sun as we can, at least in cities, that we live in. And otherwise, if that's not happening and you find yourself tired and fatigued, get your vitamin D and B12 checked, and you'll have to depend on a supplement. People point out saying, oh, but you get vitamin D from cow milk, but the cows are not roaming around in the sun. The cows themselves are getting supplements of vitamin D in their food because they also need it for their own health. So that's how we are getting the vitamin D from the cow milk. They are also getting it from supplements. Yeah, so vitamin D, B12. What else? What was the next thing? Creatinine. Creatinine, our bodies make enough of it. You don't need animal foods to have creatinine. Your body makes it. So there's definitely no need. In fact, animal foods are very high in protein and they put more pressure on your kidneys because your kidneys are the filters of your body. So if you eat a diet that's very heavy in animal foods, including dairy, a lot of people end up with kidney disease. And as a side effect, diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, all these things. So all these things put pressure on on all your organs of your body, and then they start malfunctioning one by one. So you don't need creatinine from your diet. Your body will make it.
What about protein?
Protein, again, like I said, there's enough and more in plant-based foods. It's very, very hard for somebody to be deficient in protein. I know there are all these calculators online now. People are calculating, feeding in their diets into these calculators and saying, oh my god, I didn't get 5 grams of protein today. But for somebody to be protein deficient, they have to be starving. In our textbooks we used to see these kids with a disease called kwashiorkor. They have pot bellies and they're really like frazzled looking children. That's a
Hmm.
protein deficiency. So you don't need to be worrying about protein. I don't like break my head every day and say, oh my God, I need to have some tofu today because I didn't have enough protein. We just eat very simple food at home. It's just dal and chawal and sabjis and salads. That's pretty much what we do every day. So
Hmm.
you don't need any extra sources of protein if you're on a plant-based diet.
Okay. Um, Also, there's B12, there's D3, there's protein. The next one is what about omega-3 and omega-6 fats on a plant-based diet?
Uh, I think about what our great grandmothers did, on vegetarian diets also, there's no real sources of, people think you need fish oil, for these omega 3s and 6s, but quite a few things that we eat have omega 3 and 6. So walnuts, flax seeds, nowadays even the chia seeds that's available pretty freely. Again, these are so plant-based sources of omegas that are high, but Everything else contains some amount of omegas. So if you're eating a healthy plant-based diet and not eating too much junk or fried food, then you don't need to go out of your way to, like have walnuts every day. I mean, it's good to include nuts in your diet every day. Why not? But not everybody has that, opportunity to do it. So
Yeah.
you can just include flax seeds in your diet. That's a cheap source. So you can just powder it and add it to your food. It'll be covered. Not, it's not that something I do often, but if you're worried about omegas, there are sources too. There are definitely sources.
Okay. So let's talk about I think people once they go on to a plant-based diet, they start missing some things, right? They start hi Shrikant, my cousin Shrikant, our cousin Shrikant is here. Nice to have somebody from my family so I can say our. Um, okay, so people start missing things, right? So they'll say, "Oh, I really miss my chai," or "I miss dahi," or "I miss cheese on a pizza." So for these things, so if say, okay, we'll go one by one. For milk, suppose I want to have chai, I don't want to give up chai. What can I put in the milk in my chai instead of dairy? Should I start looking for alternatives like this? Does it make sense?
Before I answer that, I ask everybody who's planning to go plant based to give everything up for 21 days, because it takes 21 days for your taste buds to change and rewire themselves. So I tell everybody, if you're trying plant based, don't jump into the alternatives the next day. Don't wake up on Monday and say, like, today I'm going plant based, I'm going to have cashew milk in my chai and coconut milk in my coffee. It doesn't work. You will hate it. So I say 21 days, give up everything. And after 21 days, if you want to try, you try. I know some people are addicted to their tea and coffee. Go black then. For those 21 days, just have black chai or black coffee. And then if you want, if you're, being adventurous, then you can try. So then to start off with chai, a lot of people actually like oat milk in their chai. Oat milk and almond milk also. Both of us are not chai or coffee drinkers, but from speaking to other people, I know that they like oat milk goes really well with tea and coffee, and you get it even if you go to coffee shops these days. They have the option of oat milk.
But
So
sorry, just to interrupt you. So what if you don't want to buy the oat milk available outside? You can make it at home also.
yeah, definitely. There are tons of recipes, oat milk, nut milks. Everything is very easy to make. It's basically just soaking it and grinding it and sieving it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's no rocket science. It's much more cheaper to make it at home. Doesn't last as long as what you would buy from outside versus making it at home. But it's cheaper, it's better for you, because the stuff that you buy from outside comes with a lot of preservatives and emulsifiers and stuff. So once in a while, again, that's okay if you want to indulge, but it's always better to start making it at home,
Hmm.
if you can, if you have the time to do that.
Okay. So I'm going to ask all of y'all who are listening in, who have tuned in from the start, if you have any questions, you can just type your questions in the chat box. Hi, Siddharth. Nice to have you here. Siddharth is our other cousin who used to, I think he used to eat meat. I'm not sure. But he's completely turned vegan. He also had high blood pressure. Siddharth, I'm discussing your health issues on a public forum. He had high blood pressure and then went vegan, and then everything. I mean, I would like to think that also because of his really amazing fitness routine, but also because he's changed the way he eats, very disciplined and structured about it. He's been able to reverse it, and he's only in his 30s. So a lot of people are seeing diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and they're able to reverse this because of changing their diet. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Not only in their 30s, even people in their 60s are able to reverse it just by eating whole food plant based. It's very much possible to reverse or even manage it better. You can reduce your medications by just, it sounds so simple. People make just give up dairy and oil, but it's so hard to do for people. People are so attached to their ideas of food and what they eat every day. It's such an emotional connection. It's very, very hard, but it's totally possible.
Yeah. Okay, there's just one or two more questions. Uh, Can you tell me some healthy fats for those who are trying to gain weight but want to eat plant-based?
Nut butters are perfect. If you include nut butters in your post-workout meal and even in your smoothies and salads, nut butters are a really good way to help you gain weight. It's not going to, add weight immediately. It takes a few months, but you will see a gradual increase if you consciously add nut butters along with your workout routine to your lifestyle.
How do I make a nut butter? A quick, like 2-minute recipe.
Roasted peanuts, put it in a chutney grinder and grind it, stop, stir it, grind, stop, stir. 5 minutes. It just needs to be stirred out and it's done. Peanut butter is ready.
Okay,
That's it, it's
that's
done.
that's amazing. Yeah, okay. So then you don't have to go to a store and say, I need peanut butter, whatever. It's just better to just make it at home.
True.
Okay, taking on a few questions that people have asked on chat. What kind of foods that PCOS people can go with? So, okay, so a lot of people, a lot of women now have PCOS, PCOD, and even like the YouTube videos that I put out for PCOS and PCOD, there are constant requests, please put out more videos. What people don't realize is one, with PCOS, you can do any kind of workout. There is no one specific asana. But also, the most important thing to look out for is your food and your lifestyle. So, can you tell us a little bit about how what you eat affects your PCOS and what you need to do to help you reverse it?
So actually, a lot of studies have shown that the leading cause of PCOS is dairy in the diet. Dairy, cow's milk comes with a lot of hormones, and that's a natural part of the cow's milk. It comes with hormones from the mother for the baby. These hormones are affecting us in ways we don't realize, and a lot of people, when they have given up dairy, completely cut out dairy from their diets, they have seen a lot of improvement in their PCOS. So, of course, adding a fitness regimen to your lifestyle helps, but uh, a big part is eliminating these stressors that put stress on your body, and dairy is one of the biggest ones. I'm hearing of young girls as old as like 13 and 14 going through PCOS. Like they just get their period and then they all getting diagnosed with PCOS. Even things like endometriosis, a lot of people get a lot of relief by cutting out dairy from their diet. They find that the pain has reduced a lot. So a lot of these, uh, you know, diseases where the body is attacking itself, which is caused because of inflammation. Dairy is a big contributor. So cutting out dairy helps. Then there are other, things in our diet which we can cut out, like oils. They also increase inflammation in our body. So for somebody who's, wants to try to, make their PCOS a little better, I would say the first thing to do is cut out dairy and then see the change. Like just try it for 21 days and see the change. They'll definitely see some change.
And then after that, after you cut out dairy, if you want more advice, you can contact Ritika. Okay, now I think our whole family is logged in. My uncle is here, Sanya is here. I think family participation is great, especially like on my channel. I love having my family over. So one day maybe I'll get all of them to make a video for you. I'll get them to do some yoga and we'll get all of them on. Okay, there are a few more questions. Can you tell us alternatives for calcium deficiency? So before that, do you get calcium from milk? Is the question. From cow's milk.
Yes, cow's milk does have calcium, but it also has too much protein, which causes us to actually lose the calcium from our bodies. So it's kind of counterintuitive to be drinking cow milk for calcium because of the amount of protein that it has. It makes our body acidic, causing our body to draw out calcium from different parts, including our bones. They found in many studies that in countries that consumed a lot of dairy, especially like the Nordic, Northern European countries, the rates of osteoporosis was very high. So you don't need to get extra sources of calcium in your diet if you're not having milk or cheese or butter from a cow. The cows themselves get the calcium from the leaves, green leafy vegetables and the grass that they eat. And of course, sunlight is necessary. The vitamin D levels need to be optimal for your body to have good calcium levels. So include a lot of leafy greens in your diet every day if possible. Sunlight is necessary. Sesame is very, very high in calcium, 10 times more than milk almost. So
Sesame is still for everyone
till.
who's.
Yeah, so just powder till and put it in your food every day. You get enough calcium if you're worried about it.
Yeah, I just sprinkle
So
it on my salads and or have some tahini. Um, Anything else? Okay, couple more questions. Um, okay, Aishwarya is asking what is the best vegetarian source of vitamin B12?
unfortunately, there's no such thing because vitamin B12 is found in dirt. I can't go around asking people to eat mud. So there is, fermented foods. Of course, they have vitamin B12, but we don't. When we cook the fermented foods like our idli and dosa batter, then the vitamin B12 ends up getting, it goes off from there. So if your B12 is low, I would definitely recommend taking a supplement and getting it to the optimal level. And then for vegetarian sources, fermented foods in India, you can have the raw stuff, like the kanji and the pickles. You can also do sauerkraut. You can ferment your cashew cheese if you make cashew cheese at home. Any fermented foods that are raw are good sources, but not good enough. So have to keep a check on that. If your levels are low, don't depend on these foods.
Okay, Asha is asking, can you suggest a simple diet plan that everybody can follow?
The simplest diet plan that everybody can follow is if something comes in a packet with ingredients, don't eat it. That is the simplest thing to do. It's also the hardest thing to do because we just go into the supermarket or order all our stuff, that comes in packages. So I will draw from Rashmi's diet because she has a really healthy diet. I would say that you wake up in the morning, have some soaked dried fruits. You soak them the night before. That's a good source of energy to get you going through the morning. Have a lot of fruit in the morning. We're supposed to be having close to 1 kilo of fruit in a day. I don't think any of us do that. And up to 11 a.m. if you can just keep having fruits, that's awesome. It's difficult, but it's very good for your body because your body is going through a whole cleansing phase at that time. When we eat cooked breakfast, then we are meddling with our body's cleansing process. So if you can have a lot of fruit in the morning before having anything cooked, that also helps. Have simple breakfasts that are local to you. Don't go and buy these white breads or sandwich breads. Try to either make your bread at home or buy sourdough bread and eat, or just eat simple breakfasts. Our dosas, idlis, poha, sabudana khichdi. These things are great. Eat local. Keep your lunch very simple, or again have something raw before something cooked. So have a big bowl of salad, fill up on your salad, add a lot of nuts in it, add sesame in it, fill up on that, and then have your lunch after that. Again, fruits in the evening. Sorry, my
Okay, so I
dog.
think that's our dog walker. So
Just give me a second.
she's gonna go ahead and open the door, and I'm gonna tell you what my family calls me in the meantime. So she said salad, and I started smiling. It's because I can't live without salads. It's like how people say, no, I need coffee, I need tea. For me, salad is that addiction. So my brother calls me a salad monster because I fill up my plate full of salads and then eat something else. Every time when we visit family, most of my family knows, so they're always making salads for me. Okay, there, Rowdy's gone. So Ritika can continue.
Yeah, yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just talking about how Ronit calls me a salad monster and how I ensure that I fill my plate with lots of salads.
Yeah, because when you do that, you end up eating less of the cooked food, and your body always loves it when you eat more raw food than cooked. This then means that you'll be hungry more often, which can be a good thing. So again, if you use fruits as snack, you'll find that automatically your craving for sweet foods comes down. And if you eat nuts as snacks, then you find that your craving for oily, fatty foods, fried food comes down. So these are good ways to combat those cravings. Is like, when you're feeling like eating something sweet, just have a fruit, and it'd be better if you have raw before cooked. So yeah, if you just keep that in mind, you'll do wonders.
Okay. Aishwarya is asking, what is the best oil to be used for cooking? I know your answer already. She's going to say none.
Ideally none, because I feel like in Indian households, dairy and oil are the biggest contributors to the diabetes and obesity epidemic that we are seeing. So minimize the use of your oils as much as possible. Try to learn oil-free cooking. Indian cooking is pretty simple to do oil-free. You don't need to add oil to your dals and your gravies. It's very easy to do them without oil. But if you really want to use oil, then the cold pressed oils are the best because they are not heated when they're being produced. So when you use them and heat them, you're heating it technically for the first time. Um, and yeah, so cold pressed oils is my answer. Answer B. Answer A is no
Yeah,
oil.
and a lot of people think that they're like, oh, olive oil is very healthy. Let me put lots of oil, olive oil, drizzle it with on my salad because this is okay to have. But they don't realize that it's not, right?
No, it's not. Any oil has about I think 9 grams of fat, something like that. It's the same as if you take oil and you take chicken fat, it's got the same amount of fat in it. So that fat is only going to clog your arteries. There is this belief that, you need oil to lubricate your joints. And I mean, if you think of it biologically, it makes no sense because the food you eat, it's going into your stomach. It's not getting passed on to your joints. So a lot of things are getting mixed up these days. People, I mean, I do know people want to go back to Ayurveda and listen to what Ayurveda says, but even in Ayurveda, everything was prescribed in very small quantities. It was just for medicinal value. But the amount of oil that we use, like a four-person household, I do know of families who use almost 4 liters of oil in a month, and that's ridiculous. You don't need that much oil. Bring it down to 1 liter a month if you're a four-person household, and that should be a challenge. Just use less than a liter a month. And if you have diabetes or if you have heart disease or high blood pressure, you should be having zero amount of oil, because all this is the fat is what is blocking your body from performing properly. So yeah, no oil if you have any kind of autoimmune disease or if you have any lifestyle disease. If you are okay, then cold pressed oils.
Okay. Should we cook food in utensils made of sand? Sand? How will I make utensils made of sand?
I've never heard of utensils made of sand, but I do use
Mud.
utensils made of clay, stone, iron. Those are the best. Aluminium, please throw it out of your houses. Do not use aluminium to cook. Um, yeah, use steel, stainless steel, and cast iron. Those are good.
Okay, I'm smiling because there's somebody called Ravi Raman who's asking if you follow this diet plan, when do you enjoy all the other nice things in life like kanda bhajia, pizza, etc. Just so you know,
So,
I said that we ordered in yesterday and we ordered a vegan pizza yesterday. So,
yes, so it's our diets are not as clean as we are making it out to be. Of course, we do indulge. But again, for Ravi Raman, like I said, if you have any lifestyle disease, you're not supposed to be indulging in anything, any fried food. Get an air fryer. You can fry your kanda bhajis and batara vadas in it without any oil. That works really well. Once you have overcome your lifestyle disease, then you can go back to frying it for once in a while.
so do you think like one cheat day a week is okay?
One cheat day a week, if you are someone who's this is it's a very hard question to answer because a lot of people have emotional issues and connections with food. So you don't know when that one cheat day gets extended, and I've seen this with people who follow even intermittent fasting. They fast and then they just end up eating junk for the rest of the 8 hours or whatever they're eating. So
Hmm.
it doesn't work because you're fasting to cleanse your body and then you're putting junk back in. So you will see short-term results, but you will not see long-term results. So I don't think that you should have fixed days a week where you can junk. You should eat it when you feel like it, but don't overdo it. You should know the limit. You should know how
Hmm.
much your body can take.
Okay. Kajal is asking, would herbal tea help to reduce weight? If yes, how many times should we drink?
Herbal tea is good to cleanse, but there is nothing like herbal tea will help you reduce weight. A good diet, a good fitness regime in your daily life will help you reduce your weight. A good diet is very subjective. A lot of people think they're eating healthy, but I would just, want to point out that if you have too much fat in your diet in the form of oil or animal fat, then your diet is not healthy. There should be a lot more fiber in everybody's diet, and that's what's actually going to help you lose weight more than anything else. So
Hmm.
increase the fiber. Animal foods have zero fiber, by the way. Dairy, meat, fish, eggs, zero fiber, full of cholesterol, full of hormones, antibiotics. Dairy even has pus cells. I'm sorry to gross everybody out, but dairy is allowed to have a certain amount of pus in it. So, yeah, so if you eat more fiber, it will help you lose weight.
So yeah, also in the I have this 12-week fitness program, right? Fitness project. So in that also we do every week we have a challenge where you say, okay, this week try and cut this out, this week try and cut that out. So that also probably helps. I mean, a lot of people have said a lot of nice things about how it's helped them follow a healthy diet along with a good workout. So yeah, I mean, I think gradually also cutting these things out helps instead of saying, okay, I'm going all out, let's go for it. That
Yeah,
might,
everybody does it differently. The gradual thing definitely helps people. I've seen that too.
okay, what food to eat for good skin and good hair, and what is the best kind of food for kids?
For good skin and good hair, I have personally seen people, who have cut out, of course, the processed foods and then dairy, eggs, and meat, and just increasing their raw foods. Their skin really brightens up. So you have salads, you have vegetable juices. They are really good to cleanse out all the toxins. So these are good for your skin and hair. Increasing the amount of salads and vegetable juices in your diet, that helps. And what was the second part?
What kind of food is best for kids?
For kids, whatever you eat is good for kids as long as you're
Except
not.
things that don't come in a packaged
Yeah,
form.
yeah, exactly. Because the amount of hydrogenated fat in chocolate bars is ridiculous. I was reading the ingredients. There is hydrogenated fat in all the Cadbury or whatever brand chocolates they are making that are nice and fudgy and gooey. It's all fat that has been hydrogenated. And actually, India is, I think, number two in childhood obesity. So it's very alarming. And this is happening in urban areas. And it's only because, these foods are so convenient to just give the kids and shut them up, packaged foods. So find healthier options to packaged foods. There are a lot of brands making healthy alternatives. Even if you don't have the time to make it at home, you can. They might be slightly more expensive, but really they're better for your child in the long run. So, and inculcating the habit of salads and fruit juices, salads and vegetable juices in your child's diet early on definitely helps. Offer them salads every day. Don't force it on them, but you just make it and keep it in front of them. It's their prerogative to eat it, and they will one day. If you whatever diet you follow, if it is healthy, that's good for your child. They are going to emulate you, they're going to copy you. So if you're going to keep junk in the house and eat junk, they'll see that and they'll want that. So get all the junk out of the house and start eating healthy, and your kids will also automatically follow.
Just last few questions. One is, Shubham is asking, is it necessary to eat something every time we feel hungry?
When hunger is actually a sign that your body needs something. If you find yourself feeling hungry often, then you need to satiate that with something that's healthy. If you find yourself reaching out to things that are fried or sweet, then that's a craving that your body is trying to satisfy because of some nutritional need that you're not able to fulfill with the food. So it's okay to feel hungry as long as you're putting food in your mouth that's at least close to being as natural as possible rather than packaged. And you will find that when you eat more plant-based foods, you tend to feel a lot of people need a meal every 2 hours, and that's totally fine. But don't fulfill that need with packaged or fried food.
Hmm. Okay. Next question that I have, I know that a lot of people ask me this also. They're like, when you travel, how do you eat healthy or how do you eat vegan? What do you do about it? Because when you travel, sometimes everything goes for a toss because what you normally eat may not be available. So, can you give us a couple of tips to ensure that even when you travel, you're eating healthy?
So again, you go back to the basics. You eat what is local. Especially in India, it's very easy to find vegetarian food that's automatically vegan and that's locally made. Even if you go to a place like Goa, they have a lot of vegetarian dishes that are automatically vegan because they tend to use a lot of coconut in their gravies. Their breakfast foods are easy. In India, more like a lot of breakfast foods are common all across India. So I don't stress so much on vegetable juices when I'm traveling because it's not possible. You can't carry a juicer around, or you can't always go and find a place that serves vegetable juices or salads and things like that. But it's easy to just stick to local food and be able to eat vegan. I've never had trouble anywhere in the world eating vegan. It's been pretty simple almost everywhere I've been. So stick to what's local. Don't stress on the healthy bit so much. If you're on a holiday, it's okay to let go because you're there to enjoy. You don't want to sit and feel guilty about eating something that's fried or slightly more oily than usual. You
Hmm.
can come back and make up for it. You can do a good detox or a cleanse after that. But yeah, just eat locally. You'll be able to find a lot of options.
Can you please share any smoothie recipe? Okay, I'll share one and then you share one. Okay.
Go
So
for it.
I'll tell you what I like to do in the morning. So I just take bananas. A lot of people think bananas are fattening. A lot of people think eating coconut is fattening. It is not. If you saw the amount of bananas we all consume, we would have not fit into this couch probably. So I take a bunch of bananas because bananas is easy to mix. And sometimes like to put either papaya if it's mango season, mango. If it's winter, then strawberry. Just blend it with water. That's it. It tastes amazing. So when I used to run marathons, half marathons, that used to be our staple. Like couple of people that I used to run with, I used to make strawberry smoothies for everybody, and we used to have that. Tell me one smoothie recipe, Ritika, that you really like.
We freeze our bananas every night. We cut and freeze bananas, and the next day we put it in the blender and do the same thing. We add whatever's in season: mango, strawberry, papaya, chiku, even watermelon. That's recipe. We love these bananas. It turns out like a softie. You just have to thaw it for like 5 minutes, and then you blend it and it turns out really good. Banana and dragon fruit. Oh my god, such a beautiful looking smoothie. So
Sounds
whatever fruit you
perfect.
find, yeah, and even if it's just plain bananas, it's fine. You can add a bit of cinnamon. It's so sweet when it's frozen, and then you blend it like that. So this is what we do every night. We freeze bananas every night, and the next morning the kids and all of us eat frozen banana smoothie.
Yeah, Ritika's kids also sometimes call it ice cream. This is
Yeah,
her trying to tell them, hey, this is ice cream for you, and they're like eating actually just healthy with just bananas and other fruits. So that is one way that you could get your kids to eat healthy, I guess. Cool. I don't think there are any more questions. Aishwarya is saying would love to see cooking recipes on your channel. Yeah, actually, so we're planning to start. Malay has been after all of us to Malay. If those of you don't know, also he handles everything on Yoga Lattes with Rashmi, the camera work, the direction, the production, the editing, everything. So he has been wanting to start with cooking recipes. We did do a little bit, but it didn't go anywhere. So I would love to have Ritika come and join us so then she can give you some. She makes amazing food and she also does a lot of research for all these new kinds of exotic dishes. I have learned a lot of my cooking from her. So yeah, we may start that sometime soon. Cool. Thank you everyone for joining in. I'm going to just stay on for a couple of more minutes to see if anybody has any questions. Preeti Ravindran, if you're here, I know you had a lot of questions and you've been waiting for Ritika to come and ask a few questions. Um, Anything about food and vegan diet, anything about kids' food. Um, so we'll just give it a couple more minutes for anyone to just think of any last minute questions that they may have. Thank you, Ritika, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed being live on Yoga Lattes with Rashmi.
It was fun. It
Ritika
was
is a
good
very
fun.
like shy person, so every time if I want to do something, it takes a lot of convincing to say, please, let's do this in front of the camera. She's kind of like the opposite of me. So yeah, so Malay says we are shooting very, very soon. By very, very soon, he means tomorrow. So that's where all our
Let's do
Sunday
it.
we don't get chill time on Sunday. We get shooting time on Sunday. Cool. Okay. I don't think there are any more questions. Thanks so much, Ritika. Thank you everyone for joining in. I hope you got a good information about plant-based food, about all the nutrients that go into a plant-based food, how you can switch to a plant-based food. Oh, Melanie is asking, what is your favorite lazy, convenient, and comfort food? Mine? I have to think about it. Ritika, do you have a convenient I think she has a sweet tooth, so hers might be something sweet.
No, actually, I'm wavering between pani puri and rasam and rice. Yeah,
Comfort food. What gives you comfort? Salads give me comfort.
I knew
I
that.
mean, I don't have a craving for salad because I eat salads every day. So yeah, I don't know. Salad. Pani puri also maybe. I mean, I think because we've grown up together, we've also had. Somebody also asked us. They told me to when I posted on Instagram saying we're going live. They said, "Oh, why don't you tell us something about growing up together as siblings? How it was." Ritika was a good sister, but she would not share with me. She was very possessive of her things. So She's, she would not share her things with me. That is the only thing. But we had a lot of fun growing. We fought a lot when we were kids, but then once we grew up, we didn't. We also have a younger brother. Ritika is the eldest one. I'm second, and then we have a younger brother, Ronit. Somebody's asking, can we do 108 Surya Namaskars daily? Yeah, you can. If you want to, you can. I wouldn't recommend it because what about your asana practice? You can do it every alternate day and then maybe also, or if you want to do 108 Surya Namaskars and then do an asana practice, yes. But yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ritika. Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a good weekend. Have a good Saturday. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.